Hi, Terry here from Stamping Magic. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is a gift box. It measures 5¼ inches wide, 9 inches tall and 2½ inches deep. I used the colour and contour stamp set together with the coordinating scalloped contour dies. The paper is from our beautifully penned Designer Series paper pack. Now this was one of the free items that you could select during a recent celebration promotion, and it's now retired. I created this gift box for a specific gift and I sized it accordingly. Now it opens by lifting the lid. On this one I have a little part circle cut out of the top edge of the back, and this just helps you open the lid, but it's completely optional. I have created a card to go with it, and I used exactly the same products. The sentiment though comes from the artistically inked stamp set. So let's get started. These are all the measurements you need for all the elements required to create this project. So if you're interested in reproducing it, take a screenshot so you can refer to it later. I'm going to use Misty Moonlight cardstock for my gift box this time, and I have 2 pieces for the main part of the box, and these are exactly the same size. Now because I'm putting a specific gift in here, I've decided to create mine at 11½ inches. But if you use 8½ inch by 11 inch card, 11 inches is absolutely fine. The instructions don't change at all other than the size of these 2 pieces. Now I'm going to place one into my Simply Scoreboard with the short side across the top, and I'm going to score down at 5¼ inches and 7¾ inches. Then I'm going to quarter turn clockwise and score at 2½ inches. Now I'm going to repeat that for the other side. So I'm placing the short side across the top, and I'm going to score down at 5¼ and then 7¾ rotate my cardstock and then score at 2½ inches. I have 3 further pieces of Misty Moonlight card cut. The largest one is for the lid, the smaller 2 are for the side tabs. The lid goes into the Simply Scored board with the smaller side across the top, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and 3 inches. Then the smaller pieces go into the Simply Scoreboard again with the short side across the top, and I'm just scoring each of them at 1/2 inch. I'm going to round 2 of the corners on each of these pieces. Now I'm going to use my detailed trio punch to do this, but you can use any corner rounder for it. The corners I'm going to round are in the larger section on the side tabs. So I'll place them into my punch and just punch them. So these are on the wider 1 inch section, not on the 1/2 inch tab. Now for the lid, again you're going to round the corners, not in the 1/2 inch tab, but in this 1 inch section. I'm now going to make a slanted cut either side of the 1/2 inch tab on all of these pieces, and I'm just taking away a tiny piece. I can then fold on all the scored lines and burnish them with my bone folder. There's just a little cutting to be done on each of the main sections. Along the base you have a small rectangular section on the right hand side that will be removed, and then I'll cut up the remaining score line to separate the long tab and the square tab. I'll then slant cut the side edges of the square tab only. On the 1/2 inch tab that remains at the side, I'm going to make a small slanted cut on the top and the bottom of it. So I'll start by removing that corner section and slant cutting the 1/2 inch tab. Then I'll separate the tabs along the base and slant cut the sides of the square tab. Now I'm going to repeat that for the second piece, and it's exactly the same. So I'll remove the bottom right corner section to start with and make a slant cut at the top and the bottom of the remaining 1/2 inch tab. I'll separate the tabs along the base and make slanted cuts across the sides of the square tab. I can then fold on all the scored lines and burnish them with my bone folder. The larger sections on the two main pieces are the front and the back. Whichever piece you add the lid to, that will become the front section. And then the side tabs go above each of the side sections. I'm going to use some of our hand-penned designer series paper for this box. Now I have a small piece for the lid and then a larger piece for the front. I like to add these where possible when the box is still flat, so before I join the pieces together I'm going to add the paper. When you come to form the base of the gift box, you want to fold the back tab in first of all, then add glue to the remaining 3 tabs, fold the sides in, and then the front tab, and this leaves a nice clean edge on the front. I can now go ahead and add my gift to the inside of the box. If you find that your box doesn't close properly, the lid seems too big, then just take a tiny slither off of one or both sides where you've rounded the corner on the lid. Here is the colour and contour stamp set. Today I'm using this outline image and this image which will colour in the flowers, as well as one of the sentiments. I've gone ahead and die cut a basic white matte, and I used one of the Scallop Contours dies for that, and it's the largest one. Now I'm going to die cut my flowers later, and I'm going to use this die, so I'll put that aside for now. The ink pads that I'm going to use are Misty Moonlight and Daffodil Delight. I'm going to start by stamping the sentiment in Misty Moonlight ink at the bottom of my die cut mat. I'm centering it on the bottom edge first of all, and then I'll move it up and stamp it down. I'm going to stamp the flowers onto a scrap of basic white card, and I'm using Misty Moonlight ink. Now I need 2 of these. Then I'll colour in the flowers with the other stamp, and I'm using the Daffodil Delight ink. And because these stamps are photopolymer, you can line them up very easily, but you don't have to be precise with them. I've gone ahead and die cut my 2 flowers, and I've added dimensionals on the back of one of them. I also have a mat of Misty Moonlight that I'm going to layer underneath my die cut mat. I'm going to layer my 2 sets of flowers together just so they overlap slightly and the stems cross. And I'm going to do this by just peeling off the backing of one of the dimensionals, and then I can set them into position. Then I can go ahead and remove the backings from all the other dimensionals and add wet glue to the other flower. The flowers can then be positioned onto the panel. For the bow, I'm going to use some of our 1/4 inch ruched ribbon in Daffodil Delight. Now this is retired, but you could replace it with any coordinating ribbon that you have, or baker's twine. I've threaded it under the stems and made the first knot, and then I can form the bow. Then all I need to do is add the panel to the front of my gift box. And that's my gift box complete. Now for this box, I didn't make that part circle on the top edge at the back because I felt that my box didn't really need it. But if you feel that your lid will benefit from having that and make it easier to open, then by all means punch a part circle or die cut one. And of course I've made a coordinating card. Again, the sentiment is from the artistically inked stamp set. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.